Hello and welcome to Nationwide. I am Dennis Adegunloye. Thanks for joining us. We'll begin at the State House, where the federal government has launched a comprehensive strategy tagged Exploit the $7 trillion global halal market to position the country as a leading player in the halal economy. Vice President Kashim Shettima at an event in Abuja said the project is part of initiatives to diversify the economy with a view to capitalizing on Nigeria's position as the 8th largest domestic halal economy in the world. And of course, we'll bring you more details of that report in our subsequent bulletins. Now, the House of Representatives has showed its support for Borno State flood victims with a 100 million naira donation. This was when a delegation of the House, led by Representative Al-Hassan Ado-Dogwa, visited Governor Babagana Umar Zulum in Maiduguri to offer condolences and solidarity with the government and people of Borno State. Presenting the donation on behalf of Speaker Tajuddin Abbas and all members of the Green Chamber, Al-Hassan Ado-Dogwa pledged the National Assembly's commitment to ensuring legislative and budgetary solutions to flood disasters across the country. The House commended President Bola Tinubu's swift response to the plight of the Borno people at this critical time. The delegation also visited the Shehu of Borno, His Royal Highness Garbai El-Kanemi, where they reiterated their commitment to supporting the people of Borno State in rebuilding and recovering from the flood devastation.
The visit was at the instance of the Speaker and the entire membership of the House to sympathize with the government and people of Borno over the disaster that massively disrupted social and economic lives of millions.
We as a House will be poised for accepting any attempt of intervention from the federal government, as the case may be, even if it means coming up with a special intervention that will require appropriation to address this and similar other cases in the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
My sincere gratitude to the Speaker of the House of Representatives and in particular this very important delegation for commiserating with the government and people of Borno State over the recent flooding that has severely affected the socio-economic activities of the people of the state.
The House of Representatives delegation also visited the Shehu of Borno, Abubakar ibn Umar Garba El-Kanemi, on a similar mission, during which they prayed Allah to avert future occurrence. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA. In
the meantime, more victims of the flood disaster in Maiduguri have received relief materials from the National Emergency Management Agency as part of its intervention measures. Director General of the agency, Zubeida Umar, who personally presented the items, was assisted by Zainab Gimba, a member of the House of Representatives. Ilyasu Yakubu reports.
Distribution of relief items was categorized into two. It started with that of the elderly, who apart from receiving 25 kg bag of rice and a carton of spaghetti, they are also given already sewn clothes. This gesture, no doubt, brought smiles on the faces of the victims. NEMA's Director General Zubeida Umar said arrangements have been made to ensure equitable distribution of relief items to every victim in order to prevent possible outbreak of epidemics owing to the flooded water. NEMA has stationed its water treatment van in strategic locations to provide treated water for the victims. John Deere operates the water purification van.
So it does 3 levels of filtration which is reverse osmosis, I think is the best presently now for water purification. If we set up in 1 hour, we can pump about 2,000 liters of water to drink.
Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar Zulum said all the 36 internally displaced persons camps will be collapsed in the next 2 weeks, believing that before then the flooded water would have completely receded. From Maiduguri, Ilyasu Yakubu, NTA News.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has again released a fresh update on flood devastation and casualties in states across the country and local government areas. A statement issued by NEMA indicates that 1,092,317 persons have been affected, with 641,798 displaced from their homes, while 99,046 houses have been destroyed, while 285 deaths have been recorded. It's further revealed that 2,504 injuries were sustained and 127,504 hectares of farmlands washed away, with 185 local governments areas affected. 31 states have so far been affected. Now, residents of Mpape, a densely populated district in Buhari Area Council of the FCT, wants relevant agencies of government to swing into action to investigate and find lasting solutions to the recent tremors being witnessed in the area. The tremor, which is said to have started on Friday evening, has persisted, throwing residents into a state of fear and panic. Ramatu Abdullahi reports.
Mpape is a suburb of the FCT, characterized with hills and a lot of mining activities being carried out around the area. Residents since last Friday have experienced sleepless nights as a result of earth tremor witnessed in the area that was accompanied with devastating vibration with loud sounds that have thrown them into panic. Mostly affected were residents of PW neighborhood and Mopo 24 barracks areas of Mpape. Provost of the barrack and other residents said they have surveyed the mining sites around the areas and are sure the sound is not from a blast from the site. Many residents have fled their home out of fear, while others camp for safety at mosques and churches within the area whenever the tremor begins. District head of Mpape, Musa Fada, said similar situation was witnessed in 2018, 5 years ago, calling on government to investigate the situation to find lasting solutions.
It happened 5 years ago. Let them do the same thing to SAC to know what is the problem of it.
The district head also called on residents to remain calm for authorities concerned to address the situation. Ramatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Well, the Nigerian Geological Survey Agency, NGSA, has allayed fears over earth tremors experienced in Mpape, Katampe and Maitama and other areas of the Federal Capital Territory. A statement by the Director General, Professor Olusegun Ige, indicates that NGSA monitored the tremors and found them to be low and did not pose any immediate threat to the environment. The statement notes that the monitoring station, NGSA 5, at Katampe has been capturing several significant ground motions with high moment magnitudes in the past 5 days, beginning from September 13th till date, and only one mild event was recorded on September 13th. 6 of these events were captured on the 14th of September, while over 21 events were captured on the 15th with higher intensities. NGSA advises residents of the affected areas to remain calm as the situation is being monitored. To other news now, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has kicked off a 2-day Women in Tech Skills training for entrepreneurs in Rivers State. Osina Chief Samuel reports that the First Lady was represented by the wife of the state governor, Valerie Fubara, which is part of the Renewed Hope initiative geared towards empowering Nigerian women across the country.
Economic empowerment of Nigerian women is the goal of the Renewed Hope initiative of the wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. Going by the capacity of Rivers women towards shaping the country of their dream, the tech skills training is expected to further enhance their capabilities in building a vibrant economy. Wife of the Rivers State Governor, Lady Valerie Fubara, represented the First Lady at the event, urged Nigerian women, irrespective of their political affiliation, to support Senator Oluremi Tinubu's effort to uplift families through quality programs embarked upon under the Renewed Hope initiative.
This training program, jointly coordinated by technology giant Huawei and the Renewed Hope initiative, pet project of the wife of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is our conviction that given the enormous endowment of every Nigerian woman, there should be a deliberate focus on finding ways of increasing their productivity, especially in technology-driven areas.
She assured the women that the Renewed Hope initiative will continue to create programs that will reposition women economically, urging the trainees to build more frontiers for networking with global women in tech movement. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has debunked media reports that former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, is in its custody. A statement by the head of media and publicity of the commission, Dele Oyewale, says Yahaya Bello has already been declared wanted by the commission for alleged 80.2 billion naira money laundering charges and remains wanted with a subsisting warrant for his arrest. The Anambra State government last year announced free or antenatal care and delivery services for pregnant women. Jane Francis Obi has been visiting some primary healthcare centres and state government hospitals to ascertain the accessibility of the programme by the expected beneficiaries.
Governor Soludo announced the free antenatal care and delivery services for pregnant women, promising to sustain it throughout his tenure. A visit to some of the primary health care centers showed that the program already has a positive impact, especially on low-income earners. It has also addressed the needs of women who desire to access the high-quality maternal care services in government hospitals in Anambra State.
I entered theater. They treat me normal. Even nurses, even doctors.
We didn't order anything. They didn't say we should pay anything.
Records from one of the primary health care centers in the state shows significant increase in the number of women who register for the free antenatal service and delivery. This number has grown consistently at an average monthly rate of 35%.
They are giving treatment. So Governor Soludo used to provide drugs. We give them antenatal drugs, and it is given free of charge. And even delivery, we have free deliveries in this hospital.
They added that more awareness should be created to attract more women to benefit from the program, while government should ensure that quality of service is assured. In Oka, Jane Francis Obi, NTA News.
Let's focus on agriculture for a moment. And the federal government has inaugurated its subsidized farming inputs distribution exercise in Bauchi State as part of efforts to ensure peasant farmers' participation towards actualizing the country's food security initiative. The distribution under the National Agricultural Growth Scheme and Agro Pocket Initiative by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is aimed at improving the country's farming activities. Muazu Hassan has details.
Introduction of the new National Agricultural Growth Scheme has the aim of providing a standard procedure of using the e-wallet process for the federal government farm input distribution. This is one of the warehouses in Bauchi, the collection center for rice and maize farmers of urea and NPK fertilizers, rice and maize seeds, organic fertilizer, as well as insecticides form part of the items for the distribution. The selection process of farmers based on their associations is targeted at harnessing the transformative power of digital technology that will revolutionize the country's subsidized agricultural input distribution.
If a farmer comes with a text message in his phone, I will check and make sure that it's a genuine one from NACS. From there, I will take my tablet and confirm again if his name appears genuinely. I will fill the form for him.
Here in this center are over 1,000 farmers buying the input in an orderly process.
I would like to appreciate the federal government for this kind gesture.
The ongoing sales of the subsidized agricultural input is successfully taking place across the designated centers in Bauchi State. In Bauchi, Moaz Hassan, NTA News.
Okay, let's backtrack a little and go back to Jane Francis Obi, who gave us a report earlier on free antenatal care. She joins us live now from Oka. Hello, Jane. Just give us an update on the developments there.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Oka.
Yes, Jane.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Oka. Intending mothers.
Go ahead, Jane. Just give us an update on the free antenatal care there.
Intending mothers and their families are already enjoying. Intending mothers and their families are already enjoying the free antenatal and delivery care services.
All right, Jane, we seem to be having issues connecting with you. We'll try and get back to you later. All right, let's head over to our Lagos Network Center, where Adiola is our guide. Hello, Adiola. What do you have for us?
Thank you very much, Dennis. In its avowed determination to bring compressed natural gas vehicles conversion centers and kits closer to the people, the presidential initiative on CNG has commenced dispatching of conversion kits to states across the country. Bolaji Akim completes the story.
The compressed natural gas CNG kit includes cylinders meant for the conversion of 6, 4, and 8-cylinder vehicles, valves, regulators, switching system, and injectors. Distribution of these kits to the centers nationwide is to encourage vehicle owners convert from the use of petrol to CNG.
Devices are safe, they are simple enough, and they are going to help you reduce your costs. Standard is very important to us, safety is very important to us, quality is very important to us.
The PICNG team also visited one of the conversion centers where pre-conversion test is being carried out on commercial vehicles that will benefit from the conversion free of charge.
You need to know the present condition of every vehicle you want to convert so that you can know whether there's going to be any correction, any repairs to be done before you impute that new system that we call CNG.
The conversion awareness is a sensitive program of the PICNG. It is expected to take about 10,000 vehicles in the first tranche, while efforts are ongoing to encourage private investors to invest in CNG filling stations. In Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
Dividends of democracy can be achieved when citizens take advantage of policies and interventions designed to improve their livelihoods. The Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation is bridging the communication gap at the grassroots to mobilize and enlighten residents of Etiosa local government of Lagos State to key into the 8 intervention programs of government tailored towards addressing their areas of needs.
Taking the Renewed Hope Initiative message to people at the grassroots, who are the target groups expected to be at the receiving end of government interventions, to cushion the impact of the reforms by the President Bola Tinubu-led administration. The Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation liaison officer in charge of Lagos, Benedicta Dibe, says it is no longer business as usual, with governance now experiencing a paradigm shift with disbursement of about 3 billion naira to students in the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NEL Fund, which comes with a monthly upkeep allowance of 27,667 naira to guarantee access to education.
This 8-point agenda is for all of us. I'm asking that they go back and access this website. You don't need to know anybody to access it. You access it. A few months ago, some universities came up and reeled out names of their students that have their fees have been paid.
Rukayat Saliu Issa, Chief Information Officer of the ministry, reeled out step-by-step approach to access this website, especially the Consumer Credit Corporation and CNG conversion currently gathering momentum.
Been able to know that so many programs has been on and that has been going on from time to time, and people are benefiting.
All these initiatives are geared towards poverty alleviation, job creation, and ensuring easy access to credit facilities for MSMEs, culminating into economic growth. In Lagos, Joel Ukbola, NTA News.
And those reports from Lagos. Nationwide will continue with Kemi in our Ibadan Network Center in a bit.
You're still watching Nationwide on the NTA, and welcome to Ibadan. The federal government's intervention programs are aimed at improving the living standards of Nigerians. This was the message at the town hall meeting by the Ministry of Information and National Orientation held in Ibadan to sensitize Nigerians on the programs put in place by the federal government to uplift their lives. Lukman Hassan has the reports.
The town hall meeting at the instance of the Ministry of Information and National Orientation is to sensitize Nigerians on the various federal government programs targeted at bringing down the cost of living in the country. The State Director, Ministry of Information and National Orientation, while enumerating on the programs such as the CNG vehicle subsidized conversion, added that there are programs that will also ensure that youth are gainfully engaged.
There is so much wealth online through ICT. So NIA is established to train, to culture, and to facilitate youth going into online businesses.
Funding their businesses, micro, SME loans, startups, existing loans. We support them with fund, especially equipment and raw material, fund for raw materials.
Participants agreed that the town hall meeting has indeed enlightened them on government programs and hope it will positively impact on their lives.
I've spoken about the economic situation of the country, about the insecurity in the land, about the welfare of Nigerian masses, about the skyrocketing price of commodities in the market. These are the issues that are germane to the welfare of Nigerian masses. So the government should please address all of this program.
From my own perspective, I thought and I hope that it will be a very good information to pass to the president. I hope he will hear what you are saying.
Some of the intervention programs on the front banner at the town hall meeting include student loans, consumer credit, skill up artist program, housing initiatives, Nigerian Youth Academy, amongst others. In Ibadan, Lukman Hassan, NTA News.
Collaborations and regular engagement among heads of hosts, communities, and security operatives around Nigeria-Benin Republic border is vital to checkmate trans-border crimes while ensuring internal security. This, among others, were the high points from the dialogue between the security agencies and stakeholders held in Imeko, Afon local government area of Ogun State. Lukman Adefeso's report is here presented.
The dialogue between heads of security agencies manning the border points and host communities was one of the numerous collaborative efforts towards ensuring that Nigerians' land border at Imeko Afon entry point are secured against all forms of external aggression and internal crisis, While enumerating their roles as security agencies protecting the border and its environs, the security operatives emphasized that interagency collaboration played significant roles in the achievements recorded against transborder crimes, assuring residents around the Mekwafon border communities of adequate security.
If it is not the one within my shadow, I will refer to the appropriate agencies.
So there is this breathalyzer that we are using now to test the alcohol intake of drivers. If it is beyond 1.05, that means you are not fit to drive. Even though the law, we only enforce the fiscal policy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The traditional rulers, in their reaction, appealed to the federal government to review the embargo placed on sale of premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol, 20 kilometers away from the border point, saying it has paralyzed legitimate commercial activities in the areas.
And that's it from Ibadan. Nationwide continues with Dennis in Abuja.
Hello, Kemi. Many thanks for the reports from your end. Let's now head over to Edo State. In just a matter of days, over 2 million residents will be going to the polls in the Edo governorship election. And joining me live now from Benin is Jude Abugu for some of the latest happenings there. Hello, Jude. What can you tell us ahead of the polls?
All right. Thank you, Dennis. We are directly opposite Benin office of Central Bank of Nigeria, where the sensitive electoral materials lifted by the Nigerian Air Force for the Saturday's governorship election are being expected. Earlier, some stakeholders came to the premises of CBN Benin office, including the State Commissioner of Police, but after some time, they left. So the information we gathered from INEC staff in the Public Affairs Unit of Edo State INEC office, she said that the materials are yet to arrive the states. But when they arrive, they will be kept in the custody of CBN. Then the inspection of the sensitive electoral materials by all the stakeholders will now take place tomorrow, as against today that it was earlier scheduled.
All right, Jude, just continue. What can you tell us about the enthusiasm there with regards to the polls? What have the potential voters been telling you? All right, signal lost there from Jude, but we'll get back to him in the course of the coming days. Well, let's stay with political party matters, and the Accord Party chairman, Maxwell Mbudem, has commended other political parties for endorsing the candidate of the party at the forthcoming Edo State governorship election and urges eligible voters to participate. He emphasized the need for a free, fair and transparent electoral process during the election and urges INEC to provide a level playing field for all political parties participating in the election.
Nigerians demand a free, fair, credible, transparent, inclusive, and peaceful governorship election. INEC must ensure that its beavers and INEC portals are functional. Every vote must be counted and should count in the overall result. The mandate of the people must be respected by all stakeholders.
The Accord Party National Chairman appreciates the National Working Committee of the party for the overwhelming vote of confidence in him at the National Convention held in Abuja and promises to maintain the peace that exists within the party. And the Nigerian Air Force has commenced the airlift of election materials for the Independent National Electoral Commission to Benin, Edo State ahead of the governorship election on Saturday. Deputy Director, Public Relations and Information Group Captain Kabiru Ali indicates that this move is part of a broader effort to ensure timely and secure delivery of sensitive materials necessary for the smooth conduct of the elections. The airlift operation demonstrates the collaboration between the Nigerian Air Force and INEC, aimed at facilitating logistics and ensuring a peaceful electoral process in the state. Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, during a recent meeting with the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, reiterated the Nigerian Air Force commitment to providing airlift for the swift movement of electoral materials. This is in fulfillment of the force's constitutional responsibility of providing military aid to civil authority. Let's now join Obehi in our Benin Network Center for more reports. Hello, Obehi. All right, we're having challenges with the connection there. We'll try and get to it shortly. All right, we'll take another break. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment. So Obehi is now ready for us in Benin Network Center. Hello, Obehi. It's now over to you.
Oh, Dennis, thanks for rejoining us here in Benin. The success of any government depends largely on the support and collaboration of the civil service. Governor Godwin Obaseki stated this at the Sir Victor Wifo Hub in Benin, where he had an interaction with workers of Edo State to thank them for their support in the last 8 years. Good luck, NTA reports.
The governor commended Edo workers for their support in the last 8 years, which he said has been responsible for the many achievements recorded by his administration. The welfare of civil servants for the governor in the last 8 years has been the priority of government, adding that the tradition must be sustained. He thanked Aswa Ighodalo for resigning from over 16 companies and urged Edo workers to come out en masse to vote PDP for continuity.
The destination is still very far. The destination is how to rebuild our country. So it's a journey. There's still a lot of work to be done. But the good news is that from what we have achieved in the last 8 years, there's nothing that we cannot achieve here.
PDP governorship candidate Aswa Ighodalo thanked the governor for his transformational drive of the civil and public service in Edo State and assured Edo workers of the best if elected.
I will continue what he just finished doing. You all here will be a priority. We'll work well together, we'll speak to each other, we'll help each other, we'll function for each other. The determination is that the work that has been done in the last 8 years, which is tremendous foundation laying, tremendous going down, so that we can go up.
The civil servant assured him of their support. In Benin, good luck in NTA News.
The International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, Edo State branch, is lending its voice to the demand for a peaceful election. Members of the association were at Agbado Market for a sensitization and voter education exercise to reiterate that the election should be free from all forms of violence, vote trading and intimidation of women. Uduakobong Achibong reports.
Edo governorship election is almost here. FIDA, as one of the election observers, is adverse to electoral malpractices, which it has continued to re-echo in its outings ahead of the election. First, members converged on Bar House to give a short brief of their collective desire, which was expressed by their chairperson, Violet Olumese.
We use this medium to appeal to the security agencies and personnel to be apolitical. On the part of the INEC, they should put the necessary machinery in place for the electorate to enjoy a seamless election.
Then they moved to Agbado Market for voter education with the theme Preventing Violence Against Women and Children During Election.
Our women don't engage in that. money. If they give una money, una don't sell una vote. I'm going to say, who vote here said, if you don't vote now, even though the person won't vote for, you will still come out. Because we know they take the vote important. If we take this vote important, as we come out to vote, all of us come out to vote, it's a hard for them to win.
The association believes that the election is not a war, and it is hoped that the best candidate will emerge for the overall good of the state. In Benin, Udrakobong Achibong, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin for now. It's back to Dennis in Abuja.
Thank you, Obehi. Let's now head to Yola, where 8 people have been confirmed dead, while over 200 others hospitalized at the Infectious Disease Control Center Specialist Hospital as a result of an outbreak of acute watery diarrhea in Adamawa State. This was disclosed by the Commissioner of Health and Human Services, Felix Tangwami. Simon Asher reports.
This is Ajia Ward in Yola local government area of Adamawa State, one of the wards that is said to be affected
by the acute watery diarrhea in the state.
Definitely there are some houses that was affected, and in fact in those houses you can find 5, 3, and some of them even now they were hospitalized.
The outbreak reported over the week at Alkalawa, Dobeli, Romde and Gadabawa wards in Yola local government area is said to have resulted to the death of 8 people, including an 8-year-old child in the area.
We are facing acute watery diarrhea. That is what I'm confirming. We cannot say it's cholera until we get confirmation from the authority.
Critical stakeholders, including government officials, the Nigerian Red Cross, among others, staged awareness campaign on how to mitigate the effect of the disease in the affected localities. Simon Asher, NTA News.
To other stories now. Ensuring religious tolerance through a comprehensive framework on conflict resolution has been described as critical for sustainable peace and development. This was one of the issues extensively discussed on peace-building processes during an interactive engagement with critical stakeholders organized by the Ahmed Galadima Foundation in Yola. Yusuf Jika reports.
Here are critical stakeholders from different backgrounds exchanging ideas on conflict resolution for a sustainable peace and development in the society. Convener of the event and founder Ahmed Galadima Foundation, Ambassador Hafsat Ibrahim Modibo says, peace can be sustained through diplomacy and involvement of all stakeholders to provide humanitarian support to the victims of conflict.
Peace can never be imposed, it must be cultivated. It must be cultivated through diplomacy. The involvement of all stakeholders is needed here. We are routing for peace.
All of us have vital and very important features that can be utilized, put together in order to have peace in our land.
Religious leaders are often seen as custodians of morality. Make them well positioned to advocate for peace and reconciliation.
Women and their children suffer. And without peace, we cannot even achieve the kind of development we need.
The roundtable engagement has at its theme the imperative of peace we need in Adamawa and the Northeast region. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
Nigeria is hosting the 15th African Academy of Sciences Conference. The biannual conference and General Assembly is being hosted for the first time in West Africa. The body is a non-aligned, non-political Pan-African learned society formed to promote the development of all African countries using the principles and philosophies of science. This year's gathering focuses on topical issues, including health, climate change, social sciences, and science infrastructure, among others.
So the important way is to ensure that African Academy of Science, through its advocacy efforts and through working with governments and development partners, is able to showcase how science can lead to the development of African countries. This conference will bring together 1,000 outstanding scientists and thinkers from around Africa and around the world.
The conference is expected to reposition the African way of thinking regarding science and leveraging on its potential to develop the continent. Meanwhile, Nigeria and China are strengthening their cultural ties through events like the recent culture lecture organized by the Chinese Embassy and the Chamber of Commerce. The events also celebrated the 75th anniversary of the People's Republic of China and the Mid-Autumn Festival, highlighting the importance of cultural exchange in fostering diplomacy. We'll bring you more details of this report in our subsequent bulletins. Security now. Troops of Operation Safe Haven have arrested 5 notorious gun runners and recovered arms and ammunition in an intelligence-driven operation carried out in Plateau State. Nigerian and Abuja has details.
Briefing newsmen, the Military Public Information Officer Operation Safe Haven, Major Stephen Nantip Zamkom, says the operation that lasted from midnight of 16 September 2024 to the early hours of 17 September 2024, Operation Safe Haven Delta Force and Sector 1 troops raided the hideout of a gun runner identified as Mohammed Sani at Naraguta mining area in Bayamini along Bauchi Road in Jos North local government area of Plateau State. During the operation, troops arrested the suspected gun runner and 4 others, as well as recovered weapons and ammunition of different calibers, which include 2 AK-47 rifles, 1 Fabric National automatic rifle, 14 AK-47 magazine, 1 Fabric National magazine, 5,316 rounds of 7.62 mm special, 98 rounds of 7.62 mm NATO, and 43 rounds of 9 mm.
The suspects are undergoing interrogation for useful intelligence to aid in arresting other members of the syndicate, as well as decimating the gun-running supply chain.
Operation Safe Haven commends people of Plateau State for furnishing troops with credible information leading to the arrest of the gun runners and recovery of arms and ammunition, urging them to sustain it to ensure a crime-free society. In Jos, Nigerian and Abuja, NTA News.
Our attention to sports now, and the 8th National Youth Games are ongoing in Asaba, and Austin Demodu is joining us live now for an update. Hello, Austin. Just give us a feel of how things have gone so far during the Games.
All right, thank you very much for having me. We are right here at the Stephen Keshi Stadium, Asaba. Of course, it's going to climax tomorrow, the 8th edition of the National Youth Games. A lot of sporting activities have taken place, and so many medals have been won, and we're expecting the winners to emerge tomorrow. But let me tell you that apart from the able athletes, there are some disabled athletes who are doing us proud, just like they did in the just concluded Paris Olympics. So I have with me one of the Paralympians, para-athletes in this ongoing National Youth Games in the person of Enyoma Glory from Team Abia. She won the 400 meters T46, T47, becoming the fastest girl in the para 100 meters in Nigeria as far as under 15 games is concerned. Gloria, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
How do you feel being the fastest girl in para-athletics 100 meters?
I feel happy.
You feel very happy?
I feel very happy.
You hope to come back next year?
Yes, sir.
All right. Of course, Glory is very shy, as you can see. She is the fastest 100 meters para-athlete in Nigeria as far as under 15 is concerned. So there are so many records that have been broken. Let me remind you of an incident that happened just a few days ago from Gombe State. A sole athlete, Moyan Simon from Gombe State, the only sole athlete that came from Gombe State, won 3 gold medals in gymnastics. Last year, she competed for this event, National Youth Games in Delta State, but she was disqualified because they said, according to organizers, they said she was not properly registered. So she won gold medal at that event last year for Ondo State. But as luck will have it, coming to represent Gombe this year, she has won 3 gold medals, being the sole athlete from Gombe State. What a big feat by Moyan Simon. There are so many other issues that have been cropping up. The issue of cheating, age, and all sorts of. So I have one of the organizers, the Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Bayelsa State, to throw more light on what has been happening. Honorable Commissioner, there are some issues that have come up in terms of the organization of these National Youth Games, talking about age and the rest of them. Wrestling started today, so how far?
First and foremost, I must give kudos to the government of Delta State for hosting this massive tournament, which in my view is the most important tournament in Nigeria. We've had issues with age cheating. Of course, it's the nature of man to want to get ahead, but sometimes by hook or crook. And what we've been trying to do, especially in the Wrestling Federation, is to have another set of test for our athletes, where we were able to fish out a lot of the athletes who were overage, and we think there's been some parity, some level of fairness in the age categories, and the competition has been going on very well.
Yes, having assessed what has happened so far, there are some suggestions that this under 15 should be reverted to under 17 in terms of the athletes' age limit. What do you have to say about it?
Well, I hear the minister has made that suggestion, which is commendable, but it's something that will be subjected to the Council of State to deliberate upon. If we're talking about age cheating, whether it's under 17 or under 15, it's still going to happen. Okay. Of course, you know our under 17 football teams and what has happened to us. So until we get to the senior level, you cannot do away with age cheating.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Gali is the Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Bayelsa State, also the President of the Wrestling Federation of Nigeria. Of course, let me remind you that the big one is coming tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the closing ceremony, so we are going to be updating you on how events unfold and who eventually is going to claim the winners of this year's National Youth Games. Back to you.
All right, Austin, we certainly look forward to the finale of the National Youth Games there. Many thanks for giving us that update. Thank you. And with that, we conclude Nationwide. Many thanks for watching. On behalf of the production crew, I am Dennis Adigundui. Thank you for watching.